As Gautama Buddha once imparted, let go over a cliff, die completely, and then come back to life. After that, you cannot be deceived. These profound words capture the timeless essence of letting go and flowing with the currents of life, unburdened by resistance. They remind us that true wisdom arises not from controlling outcomes, but from releasing our grasp on expectations and trusting in the natural unfolding of events. But how can we embrace this ancient wisdom in our modern lives, where demands and expectations seem to shape our every action? In today's video, we journey through 13 Buddhist principles that resonate with this theme of non-forcing. From mindfulness to acceptance, these principles gently guide us toward a life where peace and balance are not imposed but naturally discovered. And yet, at this moment, only a small portion of you, just 1.9%, are subscribed to the Lighthouse of Buddhist channel. Subscribing is merely the first step. To help these teachings reach more souls, I invite you to give this video a thumbs up and share it with friends and family so that together we can shine the light of wisdom far and wide. Principle 1. Non-attachment. Non-attachment lies at the heart of Buddhist philosophy, inviting us to release our grip on outcomes, desires, and expectations. It calls for detachment not only from material possessions or people, but also from the internal bonds we form with the future we imagine. Yet, how can we integrate this profound teaching into the fabric of our everyday existence? Consider a scenario at work. You've dedicated long hours to a project, pouring your energy into its success, hoping that a promotion may be on the horizon. This hope, though understandable, reflects an attachment to a particular outcome, the desire for recognition. Non-attachment, however, shifts our focus away from fixating on the result and toward the present moment, urging us to find value in the process itself. It is about giving your best effort, yet embracing the uncertainty of what may come. The practice of non-attachment offers a profound sense of relief. When we let go of the need to control outcomes, we simultaneously release much of the stress and anxiety that arises from clinging to the uncontrollable. Life is inherently unpredictable, and rarely do events unfold exactly as we envision. By surrendering to this reality, we allow ourselves to experience life more fully, with fewer expectations weighing us down. In this openness, we often find deeper satisfaction than when we attempt to rigidly direct every aspect of our journey. Non-attachment also fosters healthier, more authentic relationships. Reflect on a time when you anticipated someone's behavior to align with your expectations, only to face disappointment when they did not. This disappointment stems from attachment to a certain ideal. By practicing non-attachment, we learn to accept others for who they truly are, without imposing our desires or projecting our expectations onto them. In this space of acceptance, our relationships become more genuine and compassionate, rooted in mutual understanding rather than unmet hopes. In the realm of personal growth, non-attachment is profoundly liberating. It frees us from the fear of failure and encourages exploration without the burden of predetermined success. When we detach from the need for instant success, we are more willing to step outside of our comfort zones, inviting personal discovery and growth that we might otherwise miss. The journey itself becomes the reward, as we are no longer bound by the confines of specific expectations. Ultimately, non-attachment teaches us to savor the present rather than relentlessly chasing the next milestone. It encourages us to find joy in the here and now, to appreciate what we have without constantly seeking the next source of happiness. This doesn't mean we abandon our goals or cease planning for the future, but rather that we disentangle our happiness from the outcome. In doing so, we cultivate a life that is more expansive, peaceful, and free. One where the stresses of control fade, relationships thrive, and personal growth unfolds naturally. Non-attachment helps us embrace the beauty of the present and live with greater freedom and fulfillment. Principle 2. Mindfulness. Mindfulness, a cornerstone of Buddhist philosophy, calls upon us to embrace the present moment in its entirety. It invites us to turn our attention inward toward our thoughts, emotions, and surroundings without the cloud of judgment or distraction. This profound practice offers a pathway to inner peace, even amidst the chaos of modern life. But what does true mindfulness look like in our daily existence? Consider something as simple as drinking a cup of tea. In a world where we often sip our tea while scrolling through phones or mentally running through our to-do lists, mindfulness asks us to pause and fully experience the act itself. It encourages us to notice the warmth of the cup in our hands, the delicate aroma, the subtle taste, and the gentle rise of steam. By immersing ourselves in these sensations, we create space for calm and quiet, allowing us to truly savor the moment. Mindfulness, when applied to the pressures of everyday life, can be a source of great relief. Take, for instance, the experience of being stuck in traffic. Instead of succumbing to frustration or anxiety about being late, mindfulness allows us to step back and observe the situation. We notice our physical reactions, the tightening of our shoulders or the grip on the steering wheel, and consciously release that tension. In doing so, we reduce stress and cultivate resilience, better equipping ourselves to navigate future challenges with grace. In our relationships, mindfulness serves as a bridge to deeper connection. When we are fully present in conversations, we listen not just with our ears, but with our hearts. We are not distracted by formulating our responses or thinking ahead. Instead, we give our full attention to the other person, fostering meaningful, authentic exchanges. This mindful presence conveys respect, care, and understanding, enriching our interactions and strengthening the bonds we share with others. Principle 3. Acceptance. Acceptance, a foundational principle in Buddhism, invites us to embrace life as it unfolds, without the need to force it into alignment with our desires. This profound teaching encourages us to recognize and come to terms with our present circumstances, emotions, and the essence of who we are. In doing so, we cultivate a deep sense of peace and contentment. Consider the natural world as a powerful teacher. A tree does not resist the wind as it blows. It sways gracefully, bending with each gust. In much the same way, acceptance asks us to move with life's unpredictable turns, to flow with its currents rather than resist them. When an unexpected rainstorm interrupts a meticulously planned outdoor event, for instance, acceptance offers us a path to adapt without the weight of frustration or disappointment. It is the art of gracefully bending rather than breaking. More importantly, acceptance is a key to self-compassion. So often, we are our own harshest critics, judging ourselves for our flaws, and on a practical level, acceptance can transform how we face life's inevitable challenges. Picture a scenario where you've been passed over for a promotion at work. The initial sting of disappointment is natural, yet clinging to this feeling without embracing the reality of the situation only deepens stress. Acceptance doesn't ask us to abandon our aspirations. Rather, it calls for acknowledging the situation without letting it consume our emotions. This acceptance becomes a gateway to moving forward, perhaps toward personal growth or new, unanticipated opportunities. Acceptance also plays a vital role in our relationships. It teaches us to see others as they truly are, not as we would like them to be. This recognition helps ease conflict and reduce misunderstandings. For example, if a friend is habitually late, accepting this trait allows us to adjust our expectations and plan accordingly instead of succumbing to recurring frustration. In this acceptance, there is room for compassion and understanding. Shortcomings. By practicing acceptance within, we learn to acknowledge our imperfections without harsh self-criticism. This nurtures a kinder, gentler inner dialogue, which is vital for both mental health and emotional well-being. It helps us see that, like everyone else, we are works in progress, and that is perfectly okay. The practice of acceptance also brings profound benefits to our physical health. Stress and anxiety, often fueled by resistance to the present, can manifest in a range of ailments, from tension headaches to heart disease. Acceptance, by alleviating the mental strain, also eases the physical burdens, promoting not only a calmer mind, but a healthier body. In essence, acceptance is about relinquishing the struggle to mold life to our preferences. It is about acknowledging reality with an open heart and a peaceful mind. This is not an act of passivity, but rather an active engagement with the world in a way that honors what is. By embracing this practice, we can discover a lasting joy and tranquility, making our days smoother and our spirits lighter. Principle 4. Patience. Patience, a cornerstone of Buddhist teaching, serves as the bedrock for cultivating inner peace and deep understanding. It calls upon us to honor the natural flow of life's events, refraining from the impulse to rush or force outcomes, allowing everything to unfold in its own rhythm. Consider the simple act of planting a seed. You tend to it with water and sunlight, but no matter how much you wish for it to sprout faster, nature follows its own course. This embodies the essence of patience, a recognition that certain things cannot be hurried, and that the journey itself holds value, not just the final result. Patience invites us to trust in the process, appreciating each moment of growth, rather than fixating solely on the destination. In the context of our daily lives, patience has the power to transform how we face challenges and interact with the world around us. In an age of constant speed and urgency, we often become agitated when technology lags or when we find ourselves delayed in traffic. Practicing patience in these moments means acknowledging the frustration without allowing it to dictate our actions or diminish our well-being. This mindful approach reduces stress, creating space for calm and fostering a sense of inner contentment. Patience is equally essential in the realm of relationships. Quick judgments or impulsive reactions can easily lead to misunderstanding and conflict. By exercising patience, we allow ourselves time to truly listen, to process the words and emotions of others before formulating a response. This deliberate pause nurtures more meaningful and compassionate interactions, as it creates a space where everyone feels heard, valued, and understood. Principle 5. Simplicity. Simplicity, a deeply revered principle in Buddhism, calls us to return to the essence of life by shedding the excesses that cloud our minds and hearts. It beckons us to remove the unnecessary, whether it be material possessions, commitments that weigh us down, or the mental clutter that distracts us from the present moment, so that we may live with greater clarity and peace. Visualize your living space, filled with objects that serve no purpose, items that only occupy space, but offer no value. Just as the physical clutter can suffocate our surroundings, the accumulation of mental and emotional clutter can overwhelm our spirit. Simplicity, then, is the art of clearing these unnecessary layers, allowing us to focus on what nourishes our well-being and releasing that which drains it. In practice, simplifying our lives often begins with the tangible, decluttering our homes and creating a space that breathes tranquility. But simplicity extends beyond the physical realm. It also asks us to simplify our commitments, our schedules, and even our thoughts. It's the practice of saying no to obligations that do not align with our true values or that introduce unnecessary stress into our lives. It's about choosing depth over breadth, selecting fewer, more meaningful pursuits that enrich our lives, rather than scattering our energy across countless distractions. By embracing simplicity, we cultivate space not only in our external environment, but also in our inner world, allowing for a life that is more mindful, intentional, and aligned with what truly matters. Principle 6. Compassion. Compassion, a cornerstone of Buddhist philosophy, embodies the practice of empathy and kindness extended toward all beings. This principle does not merely uplift those around us, it transforms us from within, easing our personal struggles and cultivating a profound sense of interconnectedness with the world. Reflect on the warmth you feel when someone offers you genuine compassion during a difficult time, perhaps when you were ill, overwhelmed by stress, or grieving a loss. In that moment, the kindness of another can act as a beacon of hope, offering comfort and relief. Now, imagine extending that same compassion outward, beyond yourself. When we practice empathy and support for others, it not only lightens their burdens, but also alleviates our own emotional suffering, fostering a sense of unity and shared humanity. Compassion in action need not be grand. It thrives in the simplicity of everyday gestures. It might be listening to a friend with full attention, without judgment, or helping a neighbor with a task they find difficult. Even the sincere expression of gratitude to those who assist us daily ripples outward, strengthening the bonds that weave us into a community. Each act of kindness, no matter how small, nurtures a space where everyone feels seen, valued, and supported. The practice of compassion also holds transformative power for our mental well-being. When we focus on the needs of others, our own struggles often seem less overwhelming. This shift in perspective dissolves feelings of isolation, reducing anxiety and lifting the weight of personal despair. Engaging in compassionate actions ignites regions of the brain connected to positive emotions, lowering stress levels and enhancing our overall sense of peace and joy. Principle 7. Insight. Insight, a profound principle in Buddhism, is cultivated through the quiet practice of meditation. It invites us to gain deeper understanding, not only of life and the world around us, but also of ourselves and the fundamental nature of reality. This clarity of perception allows us to release the compulsion to force events to unfold according to our will. Meditation, as the gateway to insight, asks us to sit in stillness, observing our thoughts, emotions, and sensations without attachment. In this calm observation, we begin to see beyond the surface of our immediate experiences, recognizing patterns that may contribute to stress or unhappiness. For example, regular meditation may reveal how often we become entangled in worries about future events that rarely occur, or how we continue to replay mistakes from the past. Through meditation, these patterns are brought into the light, granting us the insight needed to transform them. With this deeper understanding, we are better equipped to face the challenges and aspirations of life. Consider how insight can reshape habitual reactions to stress, whether it's overeating, lashing out at loved ones, or falling into procrastination. Rather than attempting to abruptly break these habits, insight helps us gently uncover their root causes. With this knowledge, we approach change with greater understanding and patience, allowing transformation to unfold naturally. Insight also eases our tendency to force outcomes. Often, we rigidly try to control the circumstances of our lives, believing that only one path leads to happiness or success. Yet, meditation teaches us the fluidity of life, revealing that there are many possible paths at any given moment. This awareness fosters a more adaptable and flexible approach, where we learn to flow with life's unfolding rather than struggle to mold it to our desires. Principle 8. Impermanence. Impermanence lies at the heart of Buddhist thought, reminding us that change is the only constant in life. Everything we encounter, our experiences, relationships, and even our own existence, is in perpetual flux. To truly live with wisdom is to recognize and embrace this transient nature, allowing it to shape the way we move through the world and cherish each moment. Take, for instance, the cycle of the seasons. Each year, spring blooms into summer, summer fades into autumn, and autumn yields to the chill of winter. These shifts, though predictable, are fleeting. Their beauty can only be fully appreciated when we accept that none will last forever. Likewise, our lives are composed of phases, some filled with joy, others marked by hardship. Understanding that these too are temporary can deepen our appreciation for the good times and help us endure difficult moments with greater resilience. In our daily lives, accepting impermanence means releasing our grip on present circumstances and not fearing the changes that are bound to come. Perhaps you find fulfillment in a current job or relationship, but by acknowledging that these may evolve or come to an end, you prepare yourself to adapt when the time comes. This acceptance also extends to the people we hold dear. Knowing that relationships are fluid reminds us to cherish them while they last, appreciating the time we share with those we love. Impermanence teaches us to let go of the need for control, dissolving the resistance we often feel toward change. Instead of clinging to how we think things should be or striving to keep life static, we learn to flow with the transformations that life inevitably brings. This flexibility reduces stress and fosters resilience, allowing us to navigate the ups and downs of existence with grace. Furthermore, embracing impermanence encourages us not to take life for granted. When we grasp the fleeting nature of time, we are more likely to value the present, our abilities, our opportunities, and the people who enrich our lives. It reminds us not to postpone meaningful words or actions, for the moment may pass before we realize it. By living with this awareness, we open ourselves to a deeper sense of presence and purpose, making the most of what life offers, here and now. Principle 9. Freedom from suffering. Freedom from suffering stands as a cornerstone in Buddhist teachings, achieved through the practice of detachment from desires. Buddhism reveals that much of our inner turmoil stems from the attachment to desires and the fear of not attaining or losing them. By learning to loosen our grip on these desires, we open ourselves to a profound sense of peace and fulfillment. Desires are a natural part of life and often inevitable. They span from the pursuit of material possessions to the longing for love, success, or recognition. However, it is the intense attachment to these desires that breeds suffering, especially when they remain unfulfilled or slip away. Detachment in this context does not mean renouncing desires altogether, but rather freeing ourselves from the need to be governed by them. It is about striving for what we seek with calm acceptance, without letting the outcome determine our sense of worth or happiness. Imagine the sense of tranquility that arises when you truly accept that happiness is not contingent on all desires being met. For example, you may long for a specific job or relationship. While it is entirely natural to work toward these goals, detachment ensures that your joy does not hinge solely on achieving them. This practice of detachment helps ease anxiety and lessen disappointment, allowing you to maintain inner peace even when circumstances do not unfold as expected. In the flow of daily life, cultivating detachment empowers us to face setbacks and challenges with greater resilience. It teaches us to maintain emotional balance, whether facing minor inconveniences such as traffic jams or significant life changes like the loss of a job or the end of a relationship. By shifting our focus from the external situations to our internal responses, we gain a greater sense of control over our emotional well-being. Principle 10. Inner peace. Inner peace, a foundational principle in Buddhism, teaches that true tranquility arises from within, independent of the external circumstances that surround us. This wisdom guides us to cultivate a deep sense of calm that is unshaken by the ebbs and flows of life. Envision a still pond nestled in the heart of a forest. Though the weather above may rage with storms, the depths of the pond remain undisturbed. In much the same way, inner peace is about nurturing a profound and stable tranquility that cannot be easily disrupted by the chaos of the outside world. It is about discovering a center of calm within yourself that endures, even in the face of life's inevitable challenges. To attain inner peace, we must first recognize the impermanence and unpredictability of external conditions, whether in the form of possessions, achievements, or relationships. If we rely on these transient elements for our happiness, our sense of peace will be as fragile and fleeting as the circumstances themselves. Instead, Buddhism encourages us to anchor our well-being in the development of inner qualities, mindfulness, acceptance, and compassion, each contributing to a lasting state of peace and contentment. In daily life, this principle offers immense empowerment. When your sense of peace is not tied to having a particular job or relationship, the changes in these areas do not destabilize you. You can continue to enjoy and strive for success in the external world, but your emotional well-being remains intact, even if the circumstances shift. This internal resilience equips you to approach life's uncertainties with greater clarity and less anxiety. Meditation stands as a key practice in the cultivation of inner peace. Through meditation, you deepen your connection with your true self, observing your thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in them. This practice reveals a profound truth. You are not your thoughts or feelings. With detachment, you gain the ability to watch these mental and emotional waves pass, choosing your response with intention rather than reacting impulsively. Principle 11. Gratitude. Gratitude, a principle held in deep reverence within Buddhism, invites us to shift our focus from what is lacking to the abundance that already surrounds us. By nurturing a heart full of appreciation, we transform our perception of life, where each moment and experience becomes a gift rather than a pursuit for more. Consider the simple act of awakening each morning. By acknowledging the gift of another day, the chance to live, learn, and experience, we cultivate a mindset of gratitude. This small act of appreciation at the start of the day sets the stage for a positive and more balanced perspective, allowing us to focus on what we have rather than what we desire. Integrating gratitude into daily life has the power to profoundly uplift our sense of happiness and well-being. A simple practice, such as keeping a gratitude journal and noting what you are thankful for each day, can lead to a deeper sense of contentment. This mindful reflection redirects our attention to the many blessings in life, often overlooked amidst daily struggles or minor inconveniences. It is a reminder that there is beauty and richness in the present, even in the smallest of moments. Gratitude also plays a transformative role in our relationships. When we take the time to express genuine appreciation for those around us, whether for their specific actions or simply for their presence, we not only make them feel valued, but we also strengthen the bond we share. This mutual appreciation fosters an environment of support, love, and respect, enriching our social interactions and deepening our connections with others. Principle 12. Harmony with nature. Harmony with nature stands as a sacred principle in Buddhism, inviting us to cultivate a deep connection with the natural world and live in respectful coexistence. This principle teaches that by aligning ourselves with nature's cycles and rhythms, we can experience a profound sense of peace, sustainability, and balance, nurturing both our inner and outer worlds. Buddhism calls upon us to observe and learn from the natural world, which follows the laws of the universe effortlessly and without conflict. Consider the trees, which grow toward the sun in their season and shed their leaves in winter, yielding gracefully to the cycles of change. In the same way, Zen encourages us to flow with the inevitable changes of life, embracing them with acceptance and resilience. Nature, in its quiet wisdom, teaches us adaptability and strength through its seamless transitions. Living in harmony with nature transcends merely enjoying the beauty of the outdoors. It involves recognizing our deep interdependence with the earth and acknowledging our responsibility to preserve and protect it. This mindful relationship can manifest through small, conscious actions, reducing waste, conserving water, or supporting the local environment by planting native species. Each gesture of care reflects a commitment to the health of our planet and honors the role we play in its delicate balance. By living in harmony with nature, we not only sustain the earth, but also nurture our own well-being, discovering a greater sense of belonging and unity within the vast web of life.